$60 million is how much Javvy Coffee generated in 2025, most of which came from one page and one page alone. And that is this landing page we're going to be assessing in today's video. I am the first to say most websites and landing pages are not optimized for conversions. On a scale of 1 to 10, most lie anywhere from a 3 to a 5. But if there was one page I would give a 9, it's going to be this page. And by the end of this video, you guys will understand exactly the CRO frameworks, the behavioral science, and the psychological triggers that these guys have implemented on this page to turn the most amount of visitors into paying customers. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to be looking at the mobile design here today, and that's because 75% of traffic today is on mobile. So when we take that into consideration, there is so much to consume, and they've really optimized the above the fold section on their mobile design, which is very, very important, right? Most companies today, they design for desktop first, but the premise behind highly converting stores is the mobile design is designed for mobile users, the desktop design is designed for desktop users, and let me tell you guys this much. The desktop version in comparison to the mobile version looks completely different for Javvy Coffee, so hats off to them. First and foremost, when you look at, like, the first thing your eye is going to keen in on is this countdown. They get you familiar with their core offer, and immediately they utilize the word free, which hooks your attention. Everyone wants free gifts. The discount, fine. Everyone's doing discounts. But the free gifts, and it being 4 free gifts, is something very, very special. So on the above the fold, they've immediately evoked urgency. It's the first thing you see. You can't miss it. It creates fear of missing out because, again, they have a timer. And the countdown's very visual. It's very easy to the eye, which in turn adds some psychological pressure as well. As we continue to look down beneath the announcement bar, when you look at how this main image is orchestrated, it is so easy to scan and consume the main points. You immediately know some of the core features of the product, you immediately know the offer, and you see all of the products in one shot. So this is what we talk about when we talk about maximizing the value per element. If you look through their photo carousel, which they incentivize by just having a simple arrow here, each and every slide is getting me closer to either having higher levels of motivation or lower levels of anxiety, which in turn is going to get me to click on that add to cart button. Very, very smart, very, very strategic. As we come down, we are immediately hit with social proof in the form of reviews. If I was to click this, it's going to take me to a review section, which is very, very smart, very, very strategic. Now, when we talk about sort of the offer structure, there's a lot of good things to take away on this particular section. So far, we haven't been overwhelmed with long descriptions, boring text. They have been straight to the point. They've communicated the value of their product. They've evoked urgency and scarcity. And now they're hitting me with truly an irresistible offer. Now, when you look at their offer structure, they're utilizing a tactic called the decoy effect, okay? And what this is basically, and before I sort of touch on the decoy effect, it's important to note when you look at these visual cards, they're very interactive. They're easy to click on. They're not small, which is going to enhance the click-through rates on these particular buttons. In addition to that, they've added these psychological tags, most popular, best value, to guide the end user, right? In addition to that, they've also anchored the price, $62.95 each, but as you buy more and more bags, there's more cost savings. So it's very, very smart with how they've structured this particular section. They've also gamified the entire buying process by simply saying, if you buy more bags, you get more free gifts. And they're showing pictures of these free gifts, which really makes it feel like I'm getting so much more than I'm actually getting, right? Get more by buying more. That is the FOMO here. And like the way it's visually laid out is so damn easy to understand, which I absolutely love. Building on to what I was saying earlier about the decoy effect, the decoy effect is basically when you have 3 options and one seems substantially better than the other. So best deal, obviously there's the most amount of cost savings, and that in itself is gonna enhance the click-through rates on this particular option in comparison to this particular option. Because not only do you get all of these free gifts, but you also get a chance to win this particular product. Now, going back to the point when I was talking about the decoy effect, the beauty is when you have three options similar to how it's laid out right now, one option, if done right, will look substantially better than the other two options. That option is ultimately the option that you are guiding the end user to go with. It's either they get more value, it's either they get bigger cost savings, it's either it just makes more sense given how the structure of the product is and when you get the end derived benefit. So for these guys, they have taken the cost saving stance by saying when you buy more, you save more, and it seems like a no-brainer because look how much more money you save as going with 3 bags as opposed to 1 bag. It seems like they're opting people into a subscription without explicitly saying it. They call it a membership club as opposed to a subscribe and save or an auto ship, which is very, very smart. But again, you guys can see over time, these guys are going to see very high amounts of customer inquiries with them being confused and lost. But that aside, they have a nice picture review that's easy to scan and consume. It's not overwhelming. A clickable, see full nutritional information link. But as we come down, they have a mixture of their features and benefits, and they really showcase the transformation that this product will make in the end user's life, which to me is very, very important because you're asking an avid coffee user to make a big change in their routine and start taking protein coffee, especially if they've really seen the most amount of success within that audience, which I foresee being their primary audience. So showing the transformation through the use of GIFs with your particular demographic in that GIF is very, very powerful. And it seems like they're selling to, I would say, Gen Z to millennials, so younger women. So that is very, very smart. And here is the big winner on this particular page, in my opinion, which is a comparison chart to the pre-existing solutions people have. They're either having a grande coffee or they're having a protein shake. This is a cheaper, less calories, less sugar, almost the same amount of protein, almost the same amount of caffeine. It's almost as if this is the no-brainer option in comparison to your pre-existing solutions. So making that leap now does not require as much of paralysis in the end user's mind because they're always thinking in the back of their mind, can I make this switch? Is this the right switch? These guys reduce that fatigue, which in turn is going to get someone to act with more urgency when they do land. Now, you want the end user to envision how this product will look in their day-to-day routine. And you go from simply just having to fill your cup with water or milk, mix in the protein, and voila, you will have the same day-to-day outcome you have by, say, buying a grand coffee at Starbucks. A grande. What's grand? Again, you can see this is designed specifically for mobile here with a very easy to consume review that hits on one of the primary objections the end users have, which is I don't really eat in the morning, but I always have a cup of coffee. So we're going to replace your cup of coffee. And since you don't eat, you need your protein intake. So it's the perfect way to start your morning. Again, they're training the end user to incorporate this into their day-to-day life, which in turn will enhance the lifetime value of a customer. Okay, so as we come down, we basically are showcasing in one graphic all of the bad stuff we don't have and all the good stuff we do have, okay? So very powerful, and again, it's all very scannable and easy to pick up on. They're all linked to the core promise, which is this is healthier. It tastes just as good as your pre-existing solution. and it has a lot more benefits than just coffee. So you're literally not losing out on anything if you make this shift. Now, again, they're enhancing the believability of their claims through the use of infographics. And again, they're making very, very bold claims here. And you can see with these visuals, and not too much of a, like the copy here, if you really spend some time in reading the copy, guys, this is written at a 3rd grade reading level, which is what the average American reads at. So when you take that into consideration, when they're looking through this page, they feel educated and empowered to make a decision. And that's what you want to do. Now here, what they're doing is they're getting people familiar with all of their flavor options. You know, coffee drinkers, they have their own go-to options. They have what really resonates with them from a taste standpoint. What they're doing in this particular element is showcasing, we will meet you at where you're at. We have something for everyone. And they have such simple, rich copy that sort of gets your taste buds tasting the product. Like when you have a product that usually you need to taste prior to making a buying decision, this is why Costco is so successful with all their samples. Bam, you buy it immediately. You can't do that D2C, right? So this is where you need to have very good copy, very strong copy that sort of gets one's taste buds like itching to get their hands on this product. I think they do just that on this particular element. One thing they continuously do is they overwhelm you with social proof, which is never bad. It's never bad, guys. To me, this particular element is just hitting on some of the primary objections the end user has. In Javvy Coffee, they have so much data back from their audience. So what were conversations that took place with these guys? Well, they obviously spoke to a bunch of users. They're like, well, protein shakes, it's always clumpy, it's grainy, but this product, it dissolves effortlessly. The taste, it still has that black coffee taste, so you guys aren't making compromises. Look, we understand taking protein or hitting your protein goals daily is difficult, but imagine having protein in your day-to-day a cup of coffee. Objection answering 101. What a phenomenal way to show more social proof. You got UGC, you got written, which tailors to 2 different audiences. Trust me, you guys would be shocked. Some people hate UGC videos, others love UGC videos. Some people hate written reviews, others love written reviews. You tailor to both audiences, and your job on any page, when we talk about optimal user experience, is creating an optimal user experience for anyone, hot, cold, familiar, unfamiliar, first-time buyer, returning customer, the best possible experience. And the best possible experience is the experience where someone at the end of their journey, which is me looking through this entire page, feels empowered enough to go back and click on your primary call to action, which for these guys is not add to cart. It's a lot less intent. It's a lot more playful. It's a lot more gamified again, which is select your flavors. Okay? So now I get to select and build my bundle. Let's call it that. Well, they don't call it anything. Just select your at least 3 bags. Look at this layout on mobile in particular. As you scroll, remember, you're saving money. So don't be scared, guys. You're saving so much money. And when I click on it, like, look at how easy to the eye this is, how powerful it is from a sales standpoint. You don't lose on you don't lose out on caffeine. You get your protein. You can see the label here. So just love it. You add, super easy. Again, they use these psychological tags to say, guys, let us guide you. If you are on the fence, you don't know if you like hazelnut or you like caramel, well, let me make it easy for you. Caramel is our best seller. Always make it easy for the end user, guys. Always. Especially when you have many options. So this is a great layout. And again, as opposed to saying we have 10% more stock, they're saying, guys, we just restocked. And this, based off our volume, is when we're going to sell out. This is taking scarcity and urgency to the next level. Wow. Wow. Let's proceed. And oh my God. and they reiterate everything you're getting in this package. And when we talk about the highest point of friction, which is proceed to checkout, you want to alleviate all of the anxieties one has, which will enhance the throughput and the CTR on this particular button. Perfect placement, perfect messaging. If for any reason you don't like our coffee, you can return it and receive a full refund. Easy, simple. Alleviate anxiety, incentivize, and enhance motivation. Phenomenal work. Let's get to checkout. Okay. All right. Well, here, this is not my address, guys, so don't blow me up. So they have a bunch of social proof here. Okay? Bunch of social proof here. They de-risk the purchase. And look beneath, another high friction point. You got reviews. You got the number of units sold, which shows this product is in high demand. They reiterate their guarantee. They have quick pay options. It doesn't get better than that, guys. God damn, should I buy? No, I'm being serious. Should I buy? See? You can sell to a CRO, the king of CRO, if you do it right. Javvy Coffee, I don't know who your CRO guy is, but hats off to them. I know you guys do CRO internally. So, you know, you guys aren't going to give me the job. But, guys, if you are a brand and you want to take inspiration and get to the level of success these guys have when it comes to turning the coldest audiences in the world into pure profit, I'm your guy. If you found value in this video, please do like and subscribe. But more importantly, connect with me on socials, guys. I'll link all my socials below. There's so much more CRO value to take from what I'm putting out there. So there you have it, guys. This is Cam. See you guys on the next one.